last time. That's what it was. I don't know where it went. I like literally lost it. Okay. So, hey Joe, can you hear us? Can you hear me? Oh, I can hear you. How are you?
Good. I was in limbo for a little while.
Oh, that's okay. Joe, this is Alex. Alex.
Hey, Alex. Hey, Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were just talking about the health bet group.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm saying, we didn't really know, nobody really knew what to think of using the app, but I'm really liking everybody's like participation.
Yeah, I think there's some good things to it. I love the fact that people log in the workouts and the shakes the way it is, and it makes people do it.
Right. Exactly.
What are you doing?
Your dog?
Yes. Acting crazy.
So we were saying, Joe, we want to try to get off by 9 because of the debate. So I just wanted to kind of, I had just started chatting a little bit, and then Pam reminded me to record. So I just wanted to kind of go over some of the 4 vital behaviors, because I think sometimes we, as the more you've been a coach, sometimes it's like easy to forget some of the basics. And so sometimes I think it's a good reminder to kind of go over the basics and why they're important, especially like PD, personal development, things like that we have to remind ourselves, what the benefit of it is, and that we should be doing it every day. So if you don't know, so for Alex, there's 3, and then Carl Deichler, who's the CEO of Beachbody, he just added one recently. So it's inviting. The idea is that you can't, move your business forward without inviting. And we kind of talked about that on our call last week. Really, it's about like sharing this opportunity with other people. So sometimes it can feel a little like icky to be inviting people, and you don't want to come across as you're just selling them something.
Right.
But if you really think about it in terms of that you're inviting somebody to join you on your wellness journey because of all the awesome benefits and results that you're getting, it's a little bit, for me anyway, it's been a little bit easier when I think of it like that I'm just kind of sharing this and I'm inviting people to join me, not that I'm trying to sell them something or I'm trying to make a commission, or they're not just a person or points. There's we get points. Hey, Caesar.
That's a large dog.
A big baby right now.
So cute.
Hey, buddy. My guy passed out on the couch. We get, I don't think we've gone over it yet, Alex, but we get Success Club points for every challenge pack that you sell. You get 2 points. There's a little point system. And so it's, we've talked on Team Boom about how our sales are, all about the person and not necessarily the points, because it's a goal for everybody to get to 5 points every month. And, there's different, benefits of getting to Success Club. But as long as you stop to remember, why you're inviting these people and what you're inviting them to, and then there's so much more than just the challenge pack, like the group and the experience and the support and everything like that. I think it's, hey, Erica.
Hello.
I think it's
Can't see her. You can't see me?
If you click the box at the top right with all the squares, like the 9 squares.
I don't see that. Here, I'll figure it out. So, there she is.
That way you can see everybody. Well, because there's only 5 people there.
Oh, there's 5 of us. Okay.
We're just chatting about the vital behaviors.
We have Alex and Pam and Joe. Great.
I just wanted to kind of review the vital behaviors, because I think for those of us who have been a coach for a little bit longer, it's, a good reminder, and I think they're easy to forget sometimes, and it's important to go back to the basics and kind of review. And then for newer coaches, I think it's important to make sure they really understand the basics, the vital behaviors. So I was just saying how inviting, for me, I like to think of it more as like sharing the opportunity and sharing the journey, rather than like selling somebody something. It's not necessarily about the Success Club points or the sale or the commission, but it's more about, having people join you and get the results that you're getting, and to help them create like a better lifestyle for themselves. And it's not just about the points, it's about the person, and they're getting so much more than just the challenge pack. They're getting, you know, the group atmosphere and the motivation and the one-on-one support and everything like that. So while you're thinking about your October goals, I would encourage you to give yourself a daily invite goal. If you don't hit it, you don't hit it. But I think it's important to have a goal, something to kind of strive for. And then, you know, you'll see how you did in October, and then you'll kind of reevaluate going for November. You know, for me, I have upped my friend requests, which I think are easier, my cold market friend requests, because that just leads for me naturally into just conversation. And you're going to end up talking to people about their, you know, their occupation, their family, things that they're interested in. And it's just going to kind of come up what you do, what they do. And it's just going to kind of come up. So for me, invites don't seem so like an invitation. It's just kind of like a part of the conversation that I have with these people anyway. So, if that makes sense. So it's not so much like a scripted invite to just be able to check somebody off and say, I've done an invite that day. It's really just, you know, how many people can I invite through conversation? It just kind of happens naturally when you're just chatting with people, when you're very sincerely just trying to get to know somebody and seeing ways in which you might be able to help them. Whether it's a coaching opportunity, a challenge pack, Shakeology, whatever. It just kind of flows and it just kind of happens naturally. So I try to move the conversation in that direction at least like 5 times a day. So I try to have like at least a five invite daily goal. Mm-hmm. Does it always happen? No. Does it happen 7 times some days? Yes. It all comes out in the wash. But we could talk more about inviting another time, but that's kind of what I consider like inviting, when it kind of flows in that direction. And inviting can be to the sneak peek group, to the free group, to the coaching sneak peek. It doesn't have to be like, you know, a challenge pack invite. You know, it can be kind of an invite.
I found that really helpful, is inviting to a free group, because you feel like you're offering something free and valuable, and it also builds that relationship so they can see, oh, you know, this person isn't just trying to sell me, you know, and those groups are really helpful and give good information. And so, you know, maybe that they don't right after that decide, oh, I want to try a challenge pack, but they might eventually.
Right. So it's easy. It's not easy, but it's less scary for you to invite them because it's free, and it's less scary for them to accept the offer because it's free.
Right.
So, and we can talk about that more, Alex, but we have the free challenge group sneak peeks that we've been doing once a month. And then we also have the ongoing free group, which is called Team Boom Forever Fit. So like if somebody says that they don't have the money right now, or they're moving and it's not a good time, you could always invite them to the free group. And that way you can kind of just keep in touch with them and, you know, build that relationship like Erica said. And then to eventually, whenever it does work out, that it is a good time for them to join a challenge group. Okay, and PD is the second vital behavior, personal development. I am definitely one to, if time is ever a concern, PD is definitely one that often gets pushed to the side for me. But I'm trying to get better at it. And since I've been trying to get better at it and really focusing on it, I can definitely see the difference in like my mindset and the way I think about, you know, the business, but also like my ability to do the business. And, you know, I think that PD really helps with inviting, because like we said, inviting can sound pretty scary sometimes, but when you listen to the right PD, it will give you that confidence and that boost that you need to know that you're not just, again, selling somebody something, you're trying to help them change their life. So not only is PD important, but I think it's really important. I learned this lesson pretty late in my coaching career, my olive year and a half, that you have to be listening to or reading the right PD. Like you have to be reading the PD that pertains to whatever you're going through at that moment. Like I was a big sucker for being like, okay, Caroline Nathan is, reading XYZ. I have to read that because Caroline Nathan is number 44 in all of Beachbody and I have to do that. Or like Amy Reelman, all the top coaches in Team Boom. I used to always do that and I don't do that anymore. And it's definitely been a huge help. So if you're ever stuck on what you should be or could be listening to or reading, definitely reach out to, some of us in either the huddle group or the coaches group, and we'll, kind of describe like what's going on, and we can try to help you find a book that relates to whatever you're going through that will help you best. Because there was one time I was reading The Morning Miracle. There's so many people who are talking about The Morning Miracle. And so I downloaded it and I found myself like not even listening. Like I was listening to it, but I was thinking about 87 other things because I didn't need help figuring out my routine in the morning. Like there were a couple of good things, but what I really needed was like a confidence booster. And so I've just been listening to the 10X rule, which a lot of people are listening to on Team Boo, but it did happen to pertain to me. This guy is just like a no bullshit business guy. He's like all about what you can do and why you need to do it and why there's absolutely no excuse.
I got to become one with Audible. And that's my name.
I just figured out how to finally use it.
I get all the books, and my only time to read is first thing in the morning or late at night. And those are the times where I get like one page in and I'm like,
right. For me, I am not a reader. Like I don't really have the time. I'm a multitasker. So for me, if I'm going to get PD done, it's going to be while I'm driving or, doing laundry or the dishes or something. Walking the dog, that's a perfect time. I always listen to PD while I'm walking the dog.
I like to read, but sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
I love to read, but I found that with kids and stuff, I'm just so tired by the end of the night that like you said, I fall asleep. So I've been listening a half an hour into working out, and it's not my preferred way to read a book because I'm more visual, but I do really like it, and it's like I feel like I'm using that time much better than I used to, like scanning the radio stations for like crappy music, or like crappy DJ jokes,
Yeah.
So at least I'm getting something out of it,
I've been doing the same thing. Like I have a goal to try to read like 10 pages out of the book that I'm reading, but it like that part never gets done. But I make it up in the car because I listen to podcasts in the car, which is supposed to be my extra PD. So my goal is to at least read like a half hour in the morning or something like that, and then my commute's only 12 minutes each way, but double that, it's like 24 minutes. So it's almost an hour of PD every day if I get it done. But the podcasts get done. And, usually I'm listening to something like Gary Vee, or I like Shalene's stuff on social media tips. I listen to like Brendon Burchard for motivation. And then the other thing I've been doing too is going back in my podcasts and listening to old National Wake Up Calls. And I tend to always listen to the current one on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah, I do too.
But then the other days of the week, I might, go back to, flashback to like 2012 or 2013, even before I was a coach, and find, top coaches that I can relate to. And mostly some of the men coaches like, Tony Migrant or Jimmy Hayes Nelson or something like that. And I listen to some of their stuff because going back to 2012, 2013, some of those guys were still trying to figure it out. So it's kind of interesting to hear how they, were going about it back in 2012 and 2013 when all of these coaches really started killing it. Versus now, where sometimes on the National Wake Up Call, it's just kind of like so simplistic. It's like, oh, I just wake up every morning and I do my 30 invites and I do my follow-ups. And
I always get something out of the National Wake Up Call, though. It's always,
I do.
Little tidbit of something. But you make a really good point, Joe.
About, to work for it.
You make a good point about, and I often forget this, is that I often think about PD as like a book and like I'm listening to a book. But I always kind of forget that the podcasts. I think podcasts are a great tool to use, whether they are directly related to Beachbody, like, the National Wake Up Calls, or, podcasts like that, or if they're just kind of social media / motivation type podcasts like the Chalene Johnson ones, and he was talking about Gary Vee.
I always
So
get
there's
my
a lot
5
of
minutes
options,
in.
Alex.
Yeah, I'm gonna post on one of the boards and ask you guys to write them down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brooke sent me the Slight Edge when I first signed up as a coach, and I thought that was a really good start, I think, to this kind of mindset. And I'm reading The Compound Effect now, which is kind of a similar.
Yeah.
And I also read The Confidence Code, which was not what I thought it was going to be, but it was pretty good.
Cool.
I think I had that one on my list. I don't think I haven't read that one. You liked it?
It was good. The Confidence Code. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't what I thought. I thought it was going to be more like a self-help book. And a lot of it was like research, watered down research, like in a novel form kind of. But they were describing the research that they did, the interviews that they did, and other people's research about confidence. And it pertains, I think, a lot to women, and kind of just doing it, like just doing what you want to do. And that's how you kind of gain confidence, is doing it, not by thinking about it, planning for it, getting educated, like you do it and
just do it.
Yeah. Like Nike had it right,
So we can, construct a list, but if you're ever like going through something, there's an issue, confidence, time, whatever, reach out, because I'm sure everybody has lots of different ideas and things that have worked for them. Being a product of the product is the third vital behavior, and I feel like we are all pretty good at that. I know I'm guilty sometimes, like, if I've done the 21-day fix a couple times, I've gotten into the habit sometimes of kind of being wishy-washy about, trying like one workout from one program here and one workout from one program here. But what they really suggest is that you are a product of the product. And what that means is, starting and finishing a program and posting daily to show that you are accountable to that program. So it shows your possible challengers that you are doing what you're asking them to do, like doing it like 100% sometimes, from start to finish. Obviously drinking our shakes and being a product of the product in that respect. So I think that one is probably the easiest one, because
Definitely.
it's the product of the product. But I think it's important to remember to not, after you've been doing these programs for a while, to make sure you finish one, maybe take a little bit of a break, but then pick one and really, do it, rather than just kind of do one here and there from different programs. It's okay to do that once in a while to kind of highlight that there are different programs, and we have different programs to meet everybody's needs and that sort of thing. But people want to see that you are doing what you're asking them to do, and you are getting the results that they can possibly get.
Speaking of which, did anyone else get invited into the 21-day yoga retreat test group?
No.
No.
Why, did somebody else?
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I'm in it, but I don't think I'm going to do it, because in order to do it, I have to not do anything else.
Oh, really?
So, I've already broken that rule, because I did my hammer and chisel this morning. I mean, I'm just starting I'm literally exactly halfway through. Today was the first day of week 5, so I just don't think the 21-day yoga retreat is going to do what I want it to do.
Right.
I mean, if I was having an issue with flexibility, fine. It's probably a great program, and I wouldn't mind. I would have loved to do it like at night, but I mean, that's just making a choice to like stick to, what, Carl suggested is just stick to the program. I mean, I literally just did a post saying I'm about halfway through, and then all of a sudden I'll be like, by the way, I'm doing it just shows that you're like bouncing and stuff like that. I mean, I want to be able to say, hey, I just completed hammer and chisel for the 3rd time.
Right.
And honestly, this program is like one of the ones I got some of my best results on. So that's why I jumped right back to it. I don't want to just lose that again. jump to something else. So,
Yeah. That's nice.
but anyway.
Yeah. So, the containers, shakes, following the programs, people just want to see that you are doing it. And then, by your posting and stuff, you can tell, that people can tell that you're being accountable and you're really doing it, and by posting pictures. And I've even tried having like a photo, like an album of pictures that have all to do with that program. So like the foods I'm eating, the shakes, the programs, the pictures from each workout during that program and such. And then Carl Deichler added the fourth vital behavior, which is recognition. So you just want to recognize, yourself, your challengers, your teammates, the business part, you want to recognize your coaches and that sort of thing for their successes. So, when you have challengers in your group and they text you on the side and, say that they're having different means of success, whether it's weight loss or fitting better into their clothes or whatever, you want to recognize for them for that, whether it's, privately or in the challenge group or, because we're all working hard, whether it's in the business or with the programs. And so people want to be recognized. Kind of keeps morale up, keeps motivation going, keeps everybody excited. And, because we're in the third week for one of my groups, and I can definitely tell that, participation kind of starts dipping this week. So motivation and recognition is just motivation to keep people going. So I know we wanted to get off now. So I just wanted you guys to think about, everything we talked about, and I listed the 10 questions for you to kind of reflect on September and start thinking towards October. Think about what didn't go well in September, what did go well, what you want to do differently, when you want to focus on more, and that sort of thing. And my hope is that the questions that I post for you guys and for myself will kind of help you mold your thoughts. If you don't want to answer the questions and you kind of just want to write like a paragraph form, whatever you want to do, I just encourage you to kind of stop and think about, how September went. Maybe you want to think about like your personal schedule, different times of day that you want to work your business, you want to work out, whatever. I look forward to hearing your goals, and then I'd be happy to set up calls to, put your goals into action. That's all I have. Do you guys have any questions?
Nope.
You guys gonna go watch the debate?
Nope.
I'm gonna sit on my couch. They'll be in the background. I don't know how much.
Yeah.
I'm not even putting it on in the background.
Yeah, exactly. I got to do some follow-ups.
It's like the two of them is like taking a choice of stapling your arm or driving a nail gun through your foot. I seriously, don't even get me started with this. I shouldn't talk because I didn't even vote in any of the primaries because I was so sick to my stomach with even larger field and that was the first time ever I've never voted. So I probably shouldn't even talk, but I'm just amazed that America has decided this. 300 million people. These are the two knuckleheads that are our choice. I mean, that is so lame.
I think they said it's going to be like the most watched debate in political history.
Wait to see what Trump's going to actually say.
I know.
Like a circus.
Yep.
Well, while you're watching the debate, think about your goals, post them, try to post them by Thursday. That way we can kind of start scheduling calls before the 1st, which I think is Saturday.
So the question's up there now?
I put them up there last night, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right?
Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Talk to you later.